Hey everyone, this is David Pereira from Rent to Grow Homes. This message is for realtors, mortgage brokers in the Cornwall, SDNG area that might have a client interested in renting to own this property at 148 Lottie. So the background story, because this is a little bit different than my usual deal. Typically, I don't have an inventory of properties. Generally, we qualify the tenant buyer first and then have them work with their realtor to find a place they want to live in. In this case, we did that process in 2024 with a tenant buyer. They chose this house. We have an investor who bought the house. But earlier this year, the tenant buyers basically walked away. And so we have painted the house, cleaned it up. It's ready to go, move in ready. And so the investor wants to rent to own it again. And so we had it appraised. It's at 385,000 today. So in 3 years' time, we're looking for the tenant buyer to purchase this house from the investor at 440,000. Upfront, we need basically for them to qualify a combined income of about 105,000. Credit score can be poor, right? Part of the program is we help them rehab their credit score. So as long as they're five something, we can probably work with them depending on circumstances. Down payment they'll need is 11,000, and that should be 775, and I'll explain why it's a weird number, not the typical 10,000. In terms of monthly expenses, it's 2350 a month, and then the savings credit, the extra amount they're going to pay each month to contribute to their future down payment is 500. And then of course they're in charge of maintenance and utilities. So it's a nice home. It's a 3 bedroom upstairs, 1 bedroom downstairs, 1 bath upstairs, 1 bath downstairs. So really good for growing family, great for even multi-generational for people who have older parents who may want to have the bathroom and the kitchen on the main floor. So lots of ways or lots of different sort of arrangements that this can accommodate. This QR code here takes you to a Google Drive that contains a few files. Here is what you'll find in that Google Drive. One thing I'll show you here is the numbers. So, like I mentioned, how we get to this weird number of 11,775 for their down payment is kind of working backwards and figuring out what do they need to have in order to qualify. So if we know the house today is 385, in the future it's 440. Well, in the future they're gonna need at least 5% of the 440, which is 22K. Add land transfer tax, add legal to purchase, and you're looking at a total amount required of 29,775. If they're in today for 11,775, and we know that they're going to be paying $500 a month in savings credits, well, we just add those up, right? So the original number here is 11,775. 36 months multiplied by 500 is 29,775. Let's just say 775. And these two numbers would be equal. And so that's how we basically get them to the finish line. One thing I'll say, or two things I'll say, is if this is a first-time home buyer, their land transfer tax may be reduced by 4,000, which means their saving isn't as aggressive as outlined here. The other thing we can do is a 2-year term. The numbers here I'm showing are a 3-year term. If they can qualify in a 2-year term, we would reduce that 440K proportionally, be closer to 420, 425, and I would adjust the numbers. So these numbers are for 3 years, but 2-year is possible as well. So really kind of the step is for if you've got a client who this might be a good fit for, you're welcome to do an open house and see the place. But then they would have to go through the standard qualification process that I run for my rent to own clients. So if you have any questions, please reach out. If you don't have this link, please just reach out to me and I'll send you the link. I'm happy to work with you. In terms of what's in it for you as a realtor or a broker who brings a client that ultimately moves in, basically for a 3-year deal, I pay a 1% referral bonus. So that would be 3,850 if it is for a 3-year deal. If it's a 2-year deal, I pay 0.5%, so it would be 1925. So there is a little bit of financial incentive as well. But ultimately, the goal here is to help a deserving family rent now and eventually own. Thanks for listening, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.